everybody, welcome to this month's edition of North Central Outdoors. I'm your host, Nathan Karch. I want to give you an update on the 2020 boating season so far. We have been seeing record numbers of boaters on our waterways here in Tennessee, and that's fantastic. We're really happy that everybody's out there enjoying the water. Definitely can attribute that to the COVID-19 issue. We've seen a spike in boating registrations, boats bought all through the state. I mean, for a while, all summer long, you just couldn't find a boat. Now they're starting to trickle in if you're interested, but we're still seeing all of our lakes really busy consistently all throughout the weekend. And sometimes there's quite a bit of traffic during the week too. So please make sure that you are operating in a safe manner. If you're new to boating, brush up on your navigational laws and take that boating education class. If you're born after January 1st of 1989 and you plan on operating a vessel, it is required by law that you get that certification. So go check that out at boated.com. If you just bought a new boat, make sure that you register it. I realize due to COVID-19, some county clerk's offices are not open to pay the taxes on it. So if that's an issue, we're pretty lenient on that, and we do understand. But if you have owned the boat for a while and you need to renew your registration, you can do all of that online. So there's not really an excuse to not have valid registration if you've owned the boat for a while. Again, make sure that you have an adequate number of life jackets on board for everybody. Those that are 12 and under, they have to be wearing the life jacket at all times while the boat is in motion. If you're not comfortable in the water at all, you don't know how to swim or you struggle to swim and you're over 12 years of age, please wear a life jacket. Just please do it. We've had 24 boating fatalities in the state this year, which is super high, and we want to get those numbers down. We don't ever want to see a year like that again. Also, in addition to that, we've also seen 70 injury beyond first aid accidents here in the state. So definitely be aware of your surroundings, avoid a collision at all costs, and just make sure you wear your life jacket and be safe. Also, if you're going to be operating a vessel after dark, please make sure that you have your navigation lights on. That includes your red and greens up front, and then your all-around 360-degree visible stern light. So those have to be on by law at night just to make other boaters aware of your orientation in the water. So make sure you practice all those safety tips and just be safe out there on our waterways. Going into deer season, so this is our main topic for this year, or for this segment, I should say, the 2020 archery deer season. So not a whole lot has changed. I will mention tagging is really the only thing that's changed. We have implemented a tag before you drag system. So it's kind of a hybrid of the old system where you had to physically put a tag on the deer. Everybody, I think, nowadays is used to the electronic version. So when I say a hybrid, if you do not have cell phone service or you don't want to check it in the field, then you are actually issued tags whenever you purchase your licenses for the year. So if you have a big game license, you will have about 4 tags on your paper, and then if you run out of tags, you can always go to your profile and print off more. But if you don't have cell phone service in an area that you've killed your deer, on the land that you've killed your deer, and you're wanting to transport it to your house or to a processor or something like that, you have to physically tag that deer. Tape it on a leg or an ear or something like that. Just make sure that tag is on there. If you tag it in electronically, then you're fine. Don't bother putting one of those physical tags on there. It's just, we want you to tag that deer before it moves locations, just in case you're contacted by a game warden out in the field, or before you can get it home or to the processor. So that's the main thing to be aware of. If you've not already, download our app. It's TWRA On The Go. It's a free app. It will tell you all kinds of useful information. Our hunting and fishing guides are on there in a PDF format, so you can look at all the rules and regulations on there. And you also can check in your game through that app, and it's super easy. So if you haven't, please download our app. As normal, the licensing requirements for archery deer season. You can get a type 001 and then build on that, get your archery permit for big game. A lot of you have probably, maybe you have already done that if you hunted the 2020 spring turkey season. So you should probably be good to go if you hunted that and you did so with a bow. You can do the building method, which is the 001, and then on top of that, if you just do specific types of hunting. If you are an all-around hunter and do a little bit of everything, I recommend the sportsman's license. That is an all-inclusive license, and it basically includes all the supplemental licenses in the entire state. So it allows you to trout fish, it allows you to go on any public land to hunt, and it allows you to do archery, muzzleloader, and rifle. So it's the best bang for your buck, as well as waterfowl. So just know that that's available to you. There are no orange requirements for archery deer season. Once you start getting into a firearm season, there will be blaze orange requirements, but you do not have to wear orange during the archery season. If you are hunting on land that does not belong to you and that is not public land, make sure that you obtain permission on a year-to-year basis. It is preferred and is required to have written permission from that landowner. So keep that in your wallet, always have that on you. I would recommend taking a picture of that written permission on your cell phone. Everybody's always got their smartphone on them, so make sure that you have that. It's not the end of the world if you have verbal permission, but make sure that if you're contacted by a game warden or a sheriff's deputy or just a police officer that maybe got a call about potential trespassing, that you do have a way for us to verify that you're allowed to be on that land. Again, you also have to have permission to retrieve your game. So if you shot a deer or shot a turkey on land that you're allowed to be on, but it crosses over a fence onto an adjoining landowner, you must seek permission to retrieve that game. You just can't cross that fence and go and retrieve your game. So be mindful of that. Be very respectful of that. As always, I harp on this every single year when we're talking about big game. You cannot bait. Nothing has changed there. So that includes all corn, wheat, soybeans, all like just artificial flavoring, persimmon gel, peanut butter gel, apple gel, all of that. You can't bait with any of that. You cannot alter anything in an area and pile it up for baiting purposes in order to attract wildlife. You can do it if you're wanting to photograph wild animals, but for the purpose of hunting over it, you cannot hunt over bait. So if you're on the fence about it, just don't do it. There are legal ways to do it. That is normal agricultural practices. So if you have a food plot that you've prepared pretty much all season long, you can hunt over that. That's perfectly fine. If you've grown a stand of soybeans or corn or anything like that, even if you want to go in there and bush hog that stand and kind of disperse that seed with or the grains with a bush hog, you can do that. That's fine, because that is a normal agriculture practice. But if you go in there on a standing corn field and you start picking ears of corn and you pile them up in a certain area, now you've altered that, and that is considered baiting. I know there's a lot of gray area. The best way to remedy all that is just not do it, okay? The next thing is please report all suspicious activity to Region 2 headquarters. And if you're unfamiliar with what region you fall in, it's in the back of the hunting guide. We've got all the counties listed in the back of the hunting guide and what region they fall into. But contact our poaching hotline if you see any type of suspicious activity. Definitely for road hunting. If you see any type of road hunting or spotlighting at night, legal hunting hours is 30 minutes before legal sunrise to 30 minutes after legal sunset. So anytime after those parameters or before that, definitely contact a game warden and let us know, because we want to be aware of that. The best thing that you can do is just get a good vehicle description, a description of the person if you can see them, and a tag number. A tag number is going to be huge for us, because a lot of times if we don't get that tag number, they're pretty much gone in the wind. So please, please, if you can, get a tag number and hit that record button on your cell phone. That's always super good. Get a few pictures, and we would really appreciate it. That goes a long way in our investigation. Um, Also, I always get tons of questions about carrying your firearm if you have a valid handgun carry permit during the archery season. You can do that. That is no problem at all, but you must possess that valid handgun carry permit to carry your firearm. Now, obviously, you can't use your firearm to take any type of big game during an archery season. Got to use archery methods only, but you are allowed to do that. Um, Pay attention to the WMA public land restrictions for big game seasons. There are a lot of restrictions that are not going on with the statewide season. So go in the back of the hunting guide, make sure that if you are hunting a specific area of public land, that you're paying attention to all the rules and regulations, because they do differ from statewide during specific times of the year. They might have antler restrictions, they might have firearm restrictions, and I know that we're just talking about archery methods, but for future, just know that's out there, okay? And also, and I'm going to wrap up with this, very much like how I preach safety for boating all the time. Definitely practice safety while you are hunting with a bow. Most people hunt from a tree stand. A lot of people hunt from a ground blind, but I'd say the vast majority, they're going to be up in a tree, you know, anywhere from 10 to 20 feet up in the air. So with that being said, always make sure that you have 3 points of contact on that tree. If you're using a ladder stand, 3 points of contact on that ladder, and always wear a safety harness. Never ever climb up into a stand, even a ladder stand, without a safety harness. And I would recommend getting something that is extremely comfortable for you, very much like a life jacket on the water. Make sure it fits, make sure it's super comfortable, because if it is comfortable, you're going to wear it all the time. If it's not uncomfortable, you're probably going to forget about it. So you know, that's a place where I wouldn't, you know, just skimp out on money. Make sure that you get a good one, because your life is on the line. So always wear a good tree stand safety harness, and then always use a haul line. Don't ever try to pack up all your gear at once into the tree stand. Use a haul line, attach it to the bottom step platform of your tree stand. I use a carabiner system. Clip into all your gear on the ground, climb up, and then rope up your gear. Rope up your archery equipment, your firearm. It goes all season long. Tree stand harness and haul line if you're going to be using a tree stand. So we definitely want to make sure that you get home to your family, your loved ones, because they want you to be home, and we want you to have another opportunity to go out and enjoy the outdoors and everything that this great state has to offer. So we will wrap it up on that note. Please get out if you haven't this year, and enjoy our waterways, and enjoy the woods. Hope everybody has a great time, but above all, please be safe, and practice those safety tips that I was harping on earlier. So we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.